Mediumship Chronicles, April 30th, The Gardening Grandpas. Let's get into it. As soon as I went live on TikTok, I saw, clairvoyantly, an older man in a garden with denim overalls and a wheelbarrow. He was showing me that he loved to garden. Immediately, a woman claimed him, but when I described him, his physical features, she said everything fits, but he didn't have a beard. I said, okay, wait 1 minute, because I knew that wasn't her grandpa, but something about her energy felt like she needed to just hang out for a second. Another woman came in. Now, mind you, this is like an hour or so later. Every now and then I would go through my live and say, does anyone have a grandpa on the other side? Right? About an hour later, another woman comes in. And I described what I saw. She said her grandpa had a farm, he had a beard, and everything else I was saying she could take. And I felt the connection. It's like a buzz. And I felt it, so I knew that this was her grandpa. But then it became a duel, because as I'm getting information for her, I'm also getting information for the other woman, the first woman. A name came very clearly to me, and it was Harold. And I said, can you take Harold to woman number 2? She said no. But woman number A said, I just delivered a package to a Harold today. This is what I call a double tap in the work that I do. A double tap is when I have two spirits that are wanting to communicate, and they have very similar qualities. In this case, they were both grandfathers wanting to talk to their granddaughters. They were both big into gardening, but then the differences started to come in. I proceeded with the communication for the second woman, the woman who came in an hour later, because her grandpa came through with more specific messages, things that she can validate I was picking up on. I didn't tell the first woman to leave though, because I felt like I had a message for her and I wasn't even sure, but I just felt there was something that needed to be said. And I was really grateful that she was patient and she obliged and she hung out. As I gave the second woman her messages, she was happy to hear them. Her grandfather came through because she was going through a really difficult time in life, and he wanted to remind her that she has everything she needs to take care of these things and work through things. And it was just the message she needed at that time. So now I come back to the first lady that was there from since the beginning of my stream. And then I asked her, I said, does your grandma live with you? Are you taking care of your grandma? And she said, yes. And I said, are you having a difficult time because she's not really truly fully present? Is she sleeping a lot? And she said, yes, she is sleeping a lot. She is 95. And I'm beginning to worry about her. And I saw it clear as day that she was having these like afternoon delightful visits with grandpa. He was there with her. And I said, there's a chair in the room and your grandpa sits in that chair with her. And that's why she seems out of it. Most times she's on the other side. And the woman can take everything, And I said she sleeps a lot because she's with him in her dreams. And she likes it because she misses him. And then I said, did you have a nickname specifically to your grandfather like Pop Pop? And she said, yes, Papa. It was close. And I said to her, it's not long now. Grandma and Grandpa are going to be reunited, and he's just there to ease her fears and to bring her home. It was an emotional night because the woman was aware that something was shifting in her grandma. She was feeling it, and she was preparing herself for what comes next. The message from Papa, though, eased her because she knew her grandmother was going to be taken care of. So those were the messages from the gardening grandpas. They both brought light and inspiration to their granddaughters. And it just reminds me, reasons like this is why I like doing mediumship. I'm still struggling to call myself a professional medium and accept payment for private sessions. I really do prefer doing it in a gallery setting where it's just natural. There's no pressure to perform. I'm just sitting there being an open channel and spirits coming in and connecting with their loved ones. If you'd like to see this in person, follow me on TikTok, UMABEE 111. I go live every night around 11 p.m. and we chat with the spirits.